After retirement, Dad stayed just as involved as ever in efforts toward world peace, justice, and cultural understanding through organizations such as the World Federalist Association, the World Affairs Council, the International Rescue Committee, and the Arab-Jewish Dialogue Forum. He did his best to influence the influential.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
So far is my wife. You're working, honey. You're not supposed to be working.
No, I'm not working. You're working. This is the birthday boy. It's happy birthday time. So it's happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fred. Happy birthday to you.
We have somebody whose birthday is closer today than mine is, which is my very good cousin Sylvia Sutton over there. So I think in my life that I can remember in recent memory. And it's delightful because, like Caroline was saying, the people that are really special to me and Caroline are here today. And so that in itself is really special. But the other thing is, I think most of you know, is that I really enjoy getting people together that I know that I think ought to know each other. And this has really provided that opportunity to me. I mean, our great friends here, the Edelmans and the Rosenbergs and the Voights, you know, I've always felt it'd be neat if they could meet someone besides Steve. Steve had met them, and so they got to meet they hear all the stories about Debbie and Ryland and Karina and Danny.
I'm going to get you back in a minute.
So now they got to see the real people. And all our good cousins that are here, and our good friends like the Chapmans and others that are here. Anyway, so this has been a real pleasure for me, and I really do appreciate your turning out. So I'm going to give you guys a...
When I was thinking about, Sam a little bit, I was, I kind of take it easy, but then after the no count Steve, this guy, as you probably know, throws nickels around like manhole covers. So, Danny is apparently was in on the dollar bet, but I must say, when it comes to sort of the conflict between, throwing one of those manhole covers around or having the opportunity to humiliate one of his children, he does make the right decision. And in fact, I was remembering when I was about 20 years old, I was home for the summer, and I was working on the base out there at NWC, and I was home for lunch. And my mom and dad and I were sitting around eating lunch, and I was having a nice piece of watermelon, and I had eaten the center out of this piece of watermelon, so I was left with this rind about this big around. And his eyes light up, and he says, Steve, he says, I'll give you $100 if you can get that watermelon rind around your neck. There's no chance. It's this big, right? So I put it on top of my head, it's sitting up there like a halo, and I'm kind of trying to pull it down. It's no way. It's this big, and watermelon juice is dripping down my face. There's a seed over here. He's laughing so hard at me. He never had so much fun in his life. He's beaten red. And wouldn't you know, and I kept working that thing about, a minute or two, and boom, popped down over my head. Right around my neck. $100. He paid up, too. The big payoff was getting a picture of you. I mean, we should have had the aliens there. We got a picture of him with the watermelon necklace.
We are delighted to honor our friend. We respect him for his integrity. We admire him for his passion for justice. We appreciate him for the work he does in the community. We think his eating choices are peculiar, but we love him anyway.
I want to say a couple of things. And I wanted to take this opportunity to do it. I'm really not the most expressive person or talkative, and I don't let go with a lot of things, but I wanted to take this opportunity to say how much I really appreciate my dad and how much I really love him. I mean, I never could have asked for a better father. I mean, he's done everything for me. Could have kicked down a couple of more bucks here and there. Other than that, I really can't complain. I mean, he's been fantastic. And my mom talked about loving memories and stuff. I can remember that we used to play a game when I was a real little kid, and it was called What Is It? Where I'd get on his bed and hide underneath the sheets. And I'd act like I was a monster or some creature or something like that. And my dad would be out there saying, "What is it? What is it?" And it seems like we could have played forever and ever. I mean, he didn't get tired of it. You would think that you would think that dad would get tired of it before the kid would, but it didn't work that way. But it just shows how much, you know, he loved doing those things, and how much, you know, he loved his kids, and still does, and the feeling is mutual. And I remember just little things, like it was really no big deal. Remember the cannon that you made? It was just a little homemade cannon. We put a firecracker at the end of it and light it, and it was like a cannon going off. But he used to do things like that.
Anybody wonder why he is a cop now?
Well, actually, he's also the one that taught me how to shoot a gun. We go out in the desert, just put this 45 in his carbine, and I remember we took an old shoe and shoot at the sole of the shoe. And he taught me how to drive. We'd go out on dry lake and drive the Renault.
About the age of 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah. He first taught me how to drive before I could even reach the pedals. I'd sit on his lap and steer. And eventually I got tall enough where I could reach the pedals, and then he taught me how to use the pedals. He tried using a little bit of reverse psychology and tried to nickname me Lightfoot at that time, thinking that I would drive slowly if I had a light foot. But neither the name or what he was trying to do stuck, because he doesn't call me Lightfoot and I don't drive very slow. And I also remember things like when I was probably about 13 or 14, I decided I wanted to open up an animal shelter in the backyard of our house and go collect all the stray dogs and cats and keep them there and have this animal shelter. And so I brought up the idea with my dad, and at the time I thought it was a great idea. I thought I could do it, and I thought it would work just fine. So I talked about it with my dad, and he asked me all sorts of questions about what I would do and how it would work and how it would run. Yeah, you probably don't remember this. But I remember thinking at the time that he was, you know, letting me feel it out and see if it would work, and I came to the conclusion myself, because of the way he asked me questions and stuff, that it wouldn't work. And it wasn't until a few years after that, when I thought back about it, he knew all along it wouldn't work, but allowed me to go through with, you know, the little fantasy or the thought that I had. And I think in some of the things that I've noticed about myself now, I think I've picked up a lot of his traits and a lot of his qualities. And what I'm saying isn't about myself, it's about him. But I'm proud of the things that I have picked up from my dad. And I know he doesn't think I'm a miser or anything like that. like he would like me to be. In any case, and I'm not talking about just things like that, but I think that the few qualities, the few better qualities that I do have, I think they come from my dad.